just big enough for him. What's that story about? Let's start. I think I will clean out my doll's house this morning, said Ellen to her mother. I'll take it down to the shed, Mommy. Soon Ellen was very busy indeed. She carried her doll's house down to the shed and put it on the floor there. She opened the front of the house and set to work. First, she took all the furniture out. Then she washed the floors and the walls and shook the little carpets. Then she cleaned all the furniture and put it back again. She made the two small beds and wiped around the tiny bath. There, she said. Now it all looks very nice. I think I'll leave it down here till I've washed the curtains. She took the tiny curtains back to wash and left the spick and span doll's house in the shed. But it was dinner time when she got in, and she hadn't time to wash the curtains. She popped them into the toy cupboard and forgot all about them. She didn't remember them till the next week. Then she washed them carefully, ironed them with her toy iron, and took them to the shed. The door was open a little. She went inside and saw Blackie the cat sitting there, looking very solemn indeed. Why, Blackie, so it's here you come to when we miss you, said Ellen, surprised. Meow, said Blackie. He pressed his face close against one of the doll's house windows, exactly as if he were looking inside. Then he scrubbed at the front door, which was half open. What are you doing? Said Ellen, in surprise. Blackie, surely you don't think you are small enough to get into my doll's house. Take your paw out of the front entrance. Meow, said Blackie, and put his paw in at the door as far as it would go. Then he put his face down to the doorway and sniffed hard. Really, anyone would think you wanted to live here, said Ellen, pushing him away. Cats don't live in dollhouses. But Blackie wouldn't go away. He pressed his face against the window again. Ellen pushed him away once more and peeped in herself. What she saw there gave her very big surprise. Someone was in one of the little beds. Someone was curled up there, fast asleep, the tiny blanket half over him. Who could it be? Ellen felt very excited. Her heart began to beat fast. Who had found her dollhouse and gone to sleep in one of the beds? Taking Blackie in her arms, she put him outside the shed door and shut it. No wonder he was so interested in the doll's house. She opened the front of the house very carefully and looked into the bedroom. In one of the beds lay a small, furry creature, so fast asleep that he didn't even wake when Ellen touched him. It must be a mouse, or a kind of a mouse, said Ellen, delighted. A very small, brown one, and dear me, look at his long tail all curled around him. Oh, he's sweet. He's a pet. Oh, what will Mommy say? She decided to shut the front of the doll's house and carry it up to her own house to show her mother. Blackie was outside, waiting for her. Mother could hardly believe her eyes when she saw the tiny animal in the bed. Why, it's a dormouse, she said. What a pet. Mommy, why doesn't he wake up? Why did he choose my doll's house bed to sleep in? Asked Helen. Well, it's autumn now and the cold weather has begun, said Mother. Lots of tiny creatures sleep the whole winter through, and the dormouse is one of them. Usually they choose a hole somewhere, or perhaps the bottom of a flower pot in a shed. But this one wandered into the shed and found your dollhouse door opened and went inside. He curled up in the bed, the little dear. Will he sleep there all the winter? Asked Alan, delighted. Yes, if we keep him in a fairly cold place, said her mother. You'll have to take your dollhouse back to the shed. It's cold there in the winter. He will sleep well then and won't wake till the warm springtime. Alan was so happy to think of a dormouse choosing to sleep the winter away in a tiny doll's bed in her doll's house. I'm lucky, she said. Very, very lucky. I don't believe anyone else in the world has a doll's house with a dormouse sleeping in it. I wish you could see him, curled up under the blanket, his tiny nose buried in his paws. He looks so lovely. I know because I saw him the other day. Won't Alan be sorry when he wakes up in the springtime and runs off to play in the woods he loves?